In this video, we're going to discuss how you can create a GraphQL service that exposes data in a SQL database. So you can see that we're going to go here to the web control panel, and we're going to choose the web services category, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on the new button, and I'm going to choose create a new definition to create a GraphQL service. And that's going to open up the define GraphQL service dialog. So the first thing that we need to do is specify the connection string to the database. So I'm going to go ahead here and click on change connection string, and I'm going to choose SQL Server Northwind. So this is a SQL Server database that has the tables from the Northwind database in it. So I'm going to go ahead and then click OK. And now that I've done that, I can pick which tables from this database I'd like to expose in the service. So we click this button, the hyperlink here, and this opens up a list of all the tables in that database. So I can go ahead here and choose, say, the customer table, the employee table, order detail, orders, product, region, category. Let's go there and go shipper, supplier, territory. I guess that should be enough. And then you can see we can also basically create custom views. So a custom view is just one of the tables from the database with a where clause that limits the rows that can be returned by the query, and also limits the number of columns that can be returned by the query. So right now we're not going to basically define any custom views, so I'm going to just go ahead there and click save. So at this point, Alpha Anywhere is getting the schema of that database, and once it's got the schema, it's going to fill in the service definition. So it can take a couple seconds to get the database schema depending on the size of the database. So here is the schema which defines the GraphQL service. So you can see here that basically we have an array of tables. This is all of the tables that are exposed by the service. So for example, here's the table is called category. The plural version of the table name is categories. The actual name of the table is categories. So category here is an alias for the actual name, which is categories. And then over here we're defining what type of queries or mutations can be done. So basically we're allowed to do a query against this customers table. We're also allowed to do inserts, update, and deletes. And then you can see over here is a list of all of the fields that are going to be returned, that can be returned from the query. And then for each table we can specify what the children of that table are. So these are the one-to-many relationships that are available for that table. So for example, for the categories table, you can get a list of all the products in that particular category. Then if you go down, say, to the customer table, we can see here that the children of the customer table are orders. Then if we go to employee table, we can see that the children of employees are also the employees table. So this is a self-referencing table, and then orders. And then if we go to order details, we can see that basically that there's a join here. So these are joins are one-to-one relationships. So that means that each order detail record is joined in a one-to-one relationship to the order table and also to the product table. So we can now go ahead and just press the save button to save our new service definition. So we'll go ahead here and we'll call this GraphQL 1, and then go ahead and hit the save button. And you can see we now have a new service defined here in the web control panel.